another little mini chit chat video, reaction video, all of that. Before we go ahead and get into the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. If you guys want to keep up with the content and all of that. Shout out to my Purple Gang members. You guys are going to see this when I get off live. And I upload it. So shout out to you guys in advance. Thank you guys for all of your support. We appreciate you guys so much. Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and get into it. So I recently, I think it was yesterday. Yes, yesterday I got, excuse me, I got a email from Twitter, talking about they're taking down some post for copyright something. It was just like this really weird account. I tried to find out like who the sender was, what this was all about, what content. My Twitter account I only use for like business. I don't do like any type of posting and commentary or any of that. Sometimes I will repost certain things, but I'm in in essence, I'm not really on Twitter like that. Um, my Twitter account is like connected to like my business stuff. So that was weird from the get go. But then, being the type of person that I am, I keep my mind sharp by staying in tune with the goings ons of the world. So, I love politics. If I wasn't doing what I was doing, I always wanted to do political science. I just love that stuff. So, like, I have no problems, keeping up with what's going on and stuff like that. So, one major incident that happened during the week was, or it was last week, well, it recently happened, was the firing of Joy Reid from MSNBC. Like I said, I keep up with the news, I keep up with stuff. So, of course, I knew who she was. I've watched her program before. Familiar with her content and so forth. So, of course, when I found out that she was fired, I came across a post with the video of her talking about her firing from MSNBC, and she was very emotional. I think everybody knows that video. It kind of went viral, and that kind of struck a nerve with me, for obvious reasons. And I ran across a post on Twitter, and it was a post that was like super popular, this video, and it was like a thread. Everybody was reposting it. It had so much people reposting it. And of course, anytime I can show my support, in my own way, I take that opportunity to do so every time, and it's my right to do so. So I went ahead and reposted that thread, and lo and behold, not even like 2 days, I get this mysterious email from Twitter talking about copyright or something, taking down posts, infringement, blah 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 blah. And I'm just like, yeah, okay, I don't even use this account for any of this stuff. I wouldn't have anything to infringe on there. Everything is a repost. So it's not me taking anybody's content and putting it on my Twitter as my own. Anything that is of my own is like business related, right? So no, none of that stuff. So right then and then, I already kind of figured out, okay, it's because I reposted the thing about Joy Reid, and we all know, like, it didn't even click to me, to be honest. Like, I didn't even do the correlation, like the owner of Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it, and the whole whatever is going on and whatever, right? I didn't even really pay attention to that. The fact that I had that app still installed on my phones. Um, so yeah, my response was to delete the app, uninstall it, delete my account, deactivate my Twitter account, and yeah, that's that. Like, I don't care how many followers I had on there. I don't care that it was a business page. I don't care about none of that. I'm not gonna be, um muzzled, or I'm not gonna be like any of that stuff, right? First of all, I live in Canada, so I should have been deleted that app just based off principle. And that's just how I feel about it. I don't care. I should have never had that app still installed on my devices anyway. So, I always try to look for the positive when things happen. And that to me was the positive. Like, hey, you forgot to delete this stuff. And I went ahead and deleted the Twitter account and all of that, and the thousands of followers and the whole shebang, because I know a lot of people wouldn't, in your mind you would say like, well, why would anybody care? Like, if you delete your Twitter account, like, go ahead and delete it. It's yours to delete, right? And that's kind of like the whole point. You shouldn't care. It is mine to delete. And I did. So the thing is, you have to understand, like, if it wasn't an issue for this little teeny tiny account that's like pretty insignificant, there's no personal stuff on there, just the company logo and, like I say, work stuff, right? um Insignificant, right? Why should one repost cause anything, right? Like, it shouldn't be a ripple in the pond, right? It shouldn't be nothing. But when you're like a control freak and you have to control everything around you, the littlest teeniest tiniest little and you're just like, who is that? What is that? We got to squash it now. Like, everything becomes an issue. And there's no dissent. So I'm not part of that world. I live in a world where you can pretty much say whatever you want, within boundaries and respect, of course. There will be no muslin, there will be no none of that. It is not that big of a deal. I'll just go ahead and recreate a business account elsewhere. So, unfortunately, I did have some nice interactions on my Twitter account back when it was Twitter. The X thing, I have no part in that. I don't even go on there when it became the whole X business. I don't even use it, to be honest. But when it was Twitter, back in the day, I did use Twitter a lot, and I met some cool people, had some cool conversations, met some good business contacts and stuff like that in terms of customers and things of that nature. And like I said, I will be able to, connect with those people again because obviously I have multiple social media accounts. But I did have some people exclusive to Twitter that I would conversate with and all of that. And I will miss those people. However, I no longer want to be part of that. So, I'm not judging anybody who has a Twitter account. Let's get that clear. I don't care. But for me personally, I do what I please for me. I don't care what you do for you, right? That's you. So I'm not judging anybody. But for me, on principle, like, there's just a lot going on there. And I'm gonna stand with my country, and I'm gonna stand with myself. I'm just gonna go ahead and remove myself from that space. And it shouldn't be nothing. I'm just a peon among many. So yeah. Always exercise your right when you can. Like, it's your right. If you want to delete an account, you can go ahead and do that. If you want to unfollow, you can go ahead and do that. It shouldn't matter, and it doesn't matter, but it should matter to you, and it does. So you go ahead and do what you need to do. And that's kind of like my whole little rant that I'm going on today with the whole Twitter experience, X experience, or whatever you want to call it. And yeah, that's kind of like just my little vent session there. I just thought that it was not a coincidence. I don't believe in coincidences, first of all. And I just feel like it all kind of, correlates and meets up where it needs to. And I went ahead and took the actions that I felt that I needed to. And that's just, yeah, that's the world we're living in. You know what I mean? Control is everything and it's everywhere. And you could either, plug in or plug out. And with certain things, I stand on principle. I don't really care. And it's not up for debate. My integrity, my principles, all of that, that's me. It's not for debate. I don't discuss it with anybody. I just act, right? And I feel like, as just in the broader scheme of things, like everything that's been going on, that's kind of like the angle you have to come from, right? You have to do what's best for you and your, personal well-being. You can't depend on this type of hive mentality to get you through what we're going through. Individualism is going to be key. And do you, whatever works for you, do you. We all have to be judged one day. So, do what you need to do. As long as you know that within yourself, whatever actions you take, you will have to answer for, whatever realm, wherever you want to put that, wherever you're going. You will have, there is accountability, right? We know that from just basic science. We're all taught that reaction to an action, action, reaction, cause and causality, all of that good stuff. It does play out in real time. So, that's my kind of where I want to leave that. Exercise your rights where you can, when you can, and do you. So yeah, let me know if you guys have experienced any type of weirdness online based on your ideologies or political views. If you are of, what do I want to say? How do you say that? If you're like a person who is like pro democracy, we'll leave it at that, right? Have you experienced any of these little kind of like attacks on social media? Let me know in the comments. I'm sure you guys have. Everybody has. I've been seeing the stories everywhere. So yeah, that's kind of like my little contribution to this little thing that's going on. That's super weird. If you don't align with certain beliefs and ideologies, remove yourself from that space. Instead of, doing the whole I'll change the world with a rant, just remove yourself from the environment so that you're no longer affiliated with those ideologies, right? That's just pretty simple. So yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. If you made it to the end of my little mini video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. And we'll catch up with you guys in another video. Stay up and stay blessed. Deuces.